Hello YouTube, Lyric17 here, but you can just call me Travis. And welcome to a new kind of, or not a new kind of video, but a different kind of video. This is a contest entry video for Scott, the Rock Scout, his 250 subs contest. Congrats to Scott. Ever since I've been watching his channel, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6 months now. Probably actually a little longer than that, maybe, I can't remember. Sometime earlier this year. Really like his stuff. Zinda. You know, heavy metal, traditional stuff, hair, glam, sleaze stuff, just all that awesome, good stuff from the 80s, into CDs, into vinyl both. Just a cool guy. I really like watching this stuff, and I really liked his contest idea, so I wanted to do an entry. So, here we go. He had 5 different questions. All of them kind of just a little bit of interesting kind of stuff. And so yeah, let's just jump right into the questions. The first question was, what is your favorite year of music and why? I actually had no idea what my answer would be before I started really researching this, and it actually ended up being a lot harder than I expected. There were several years that I wanted to choose that didn't make the cut. 87, 90, 96, 2017 last year was a fantastic year, but actually ended up going with 1984. And as for why, here are... So yeah, by the way, in the background, we're listening to the new Ancient Empire that came out this year, Eternal Soldier. Really, really awesome stuff. Anyway, okay. So as for why 1984 is my #1 year, here are a few examples. Self-titled Bathory. Iron Maiden's Power Slave, my favorite album by Iron Maiden, and they're my favorite band, so like, awesome. Defenders of the Faith, Judas Priest. This is probably my second favorite Judas Priest album after Painkiller, so another great, great album. Disillusion by Loudness. This is, I don't know, maybe 3rd or 4th by them. Just another great heavy metal album. Manowar, Hail to England, my favorite album by Manowar. That was one of the things that kind of made 84 be the winner for me, because there were a few other years where there was more total great albums in them, but 84 just seemed to have, like, you know, my #1, #2 favorite albums by bands. Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath, my favorite Merciful Fate album, and actually probably if I did King Diamond, Merciful Fate combined, probably by #1 there too. Metallica's Ride the Lightning. This is probably #2 or 3. Kill 'Em All is definitely my #1. And then I kind of go back and forth on this one and Injustice for All. Usually I go Injustice, so this is probably 3rd. But just another great album. Haunting the Chapel, awesome killer EP by Slayer. This one has the bonus track on it. And then finally, Yngwie Malmsteen's Rising Force. Black Star has the song Black Star, which is how Rob Black Star Vinyl gets his name, which I didn't know that initially. That was a cool thing to know. So yeah, awesome stuff. So there you go. That's why 84 was an awesome year. Just tons of killer releases. Alright, second question was, he wanted us to construct an all-star band. Now, to be honest, when I initially thought of this, I was sort of leaning towards just like choosing Iron Maiden the band, because I really love that entire roster of the, I would say the current iteration with the 3 guitarists. But I wanted to, you know, make it more of an interesting answer, so I made myself limit myself to 1 member per. I can only choose a member from 1 band, so, or 1 member per band. In this case, I decided to go with bassist Steve Harris. I figured bringing his strong songwriting credentials to the group would be aptly appreciated by all, particularly me. In terms of drums, actually this is the only, just for theme's sake or whatever, my band is sort of being, it's a heavy metal, traditional heavy metal band. On drums, this is the only guy who isn't playing music within that genre, and I went with Jeff Whitehead, Wrest, Leviathan, that guy, great drummer. So yeah, he's behind the kit there. Vocals, decided to go with Rob Halford, because as we've seen even this year, the guy could still sound great on an album, so thought he was a good choice. And then for guitarists, I decided to go with some young guys, and both guys who released albums last year. And if you watch me at all, you'll know that the main reason I chose both of them is they both destroy it on solos. Steve Lethal Beaudette, who was on the Satan's Hallow release from last year, my #1 album, and then Mr. Magnus Mild, the guitarist on Air Raid, which was my #2 album from last year. I did feel kind of bad not choosing Andreas Johansson, also of Air Raid, and Von Jugel, also of Satan's Hallow, because both those guys can, you know, kill it on the solos too. But I think I kind of give slight edges to Steve and Magnus. So those are my choices for the All-Star Band guitarists. Third question was favorite movie soundtrack. I'm not totally sure that this is my favorite, but it probably is, and if not, it's like right up there. Soundtrack to Dario Argento's Suspiria, played by Goblin. My DVD release here actually does have the soundtrack on it, so that was cool. Yeah, just the really great soundtrack by Goblin just really helps make the movie awesome that it is. Fourth question is favorite collaboration. This one, I knew there was something that was probably my answer, but I couldn't, you know, think of what it is. And then eventually it finally came to me, and it was quite obvious. It is the track Stars for the Hearing Aid benefit. Just an awesome. Think, you know, if you're not familiar with this, think We Are the World, but like heavy metal artists. I still do need to pick up the extended version of this, which just has more soloing in it. But yeah, just you know, you got a who's who on vocals and soloing and stuff like that on this one. So obviously this is a fantastic collaboration, and if you don't know the song, check it out. I'll leave a link. Check it out. And then one more, number 5, favorite live performance. This one was easy for me. Not one, I'm not really into live albums at all, and this one is my no doubt favorite live album of all time, and it has pretty much killed their regular material for me, because the live album is how I know the song. So whenever I hear the studio versions, I'm like, it sounds wrong. Anyway, that is Fleetwood Mac's The Dance. I just absolutely love this album. Like I said, easily my favorite live album. The production quality sounds fantastic, so it's pretty much, it sounds amazing. Everything sounds good. In particular, I want to say the songs I'm So Afraid and Big Love, both heavily, what's what I want? A large performer in both of those tracks is guitarist Lindsey Buckingham, and man, he just kills it on both of those tracks. Yeah, it's just fantastic. Easily my favorite live performance, Fleetwood Mac, The Dance. Alright, so yeah, that's my answers to Scott's 5 questions. Again, congratulations to Scott, 250 subs, well warranted, deserves more. If you're not familiar with Scott, please, I'll leave links, check him out. His content is fantastic, and you won't be disappointed. So yeah, again, congrats to Scott. Those are my 5 answers, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're familiar with any of the things that I talked about in this video, please let me know what you think of them, and otherwise, have a good day.